First of all, let's step back a second. You feel all this wind?
Yeah.
All this wasted wind because we have the wrong president? I want you to know, I spoke a week ago to the man that is the head of the corporation that owns the windmills out in eastern New Mexico. We are leading the country by saying that by 2020, 20% of our electricity will be renewable. He told me that New Mexico has the resources that if we would give him a year and a half and create the statute that says you have to do it, we could produce 33% of our energy by wind. Think about it, 33%. You know, we have the potential. Look at it right here today. And think about the spring, you know, and think about the sun, between the sun. And the reason I wanted to say this is, do you know where that rule is, those laws are made? In your state Senate and your state House of Representatives. Right now, unfortunately, although we have a majority of Democrats in the state Senate, we have the Democrats that are running the Senate are really against our Democratic governor, have really stopped many of his most important initiatives on ethics reform, the environment, and clean government. We've stopped those in the Senate. Tim Eichenberg could make a total difference. One vote. And let me give you an example. We had the ethics reform bill on the floor of the state Senate, and a Republican introduced an amendment to put that reform off for 1,000 years. It passed by 2 votes. That means if one vote had switched, it would have been a tie, and the lieutenant governor could have voted for it. Do you know who that one vote was? The Republican in this district.
Oh, really?
You know, Tim is a gentleman, and he won't say all the things I'm going to really tell you. Over and over and over again, when it comes to ethics reform and the environment. And the other thing that she just maneuvered, and this is why I hate to say it, that the Republicans have a big say in our state Senate, but she just spent $200 million on the roads because she is the executive director of the engineers that do the roads. That means next year when we go into session, we're going to have $200 million less to do schools, healthcare, all these other things that should have been done first, but she was insisting on doing them for the roads. We're one vote away. I promise you, we're one vote away from taking the Senate to a progressive way. And I want to tell you one other thing. Do you know, this is really, those of you that live in these neighborhoods, I know sometimes I hear you and you're almost self-conscious about, well, I live in those neighborhoods with all the Republicans. But you know, there's a change here, and you all have done great work in these neighborhoods. 20 years ago, when I was first starting politics, we would lose these Senate districts in these neighborhoods with 80% of the votes the Republicans would get. Do you know, they're hardly getting 60% of it. You all have created a huge change in these eastern areas of Bernalillo County. And that now, over and over again, our presidential candidate, our congressional candidates will win in Bernalillo County. That was unheard of 20 years ago. And if you don't think this can be done, in Las Cruces now, do you know how many Republicans they have left in the entire legislature in Las Cruces? One.
Ooh.
One.
Good.
They got rid of all the others. This is a long-standing battle. President Clinton saw it 15 years ago, that in the Mountain West, more and more people were moving in from the Midwest and the East Coast, and they were bringing their democratic values. Yes, they're moderates, they understood that, but they were good on the environment, they were good on reform, they were good on many of our issues of health care. And you're seeing the result of that here today in these elections. And if you'll just go out and make this one last push, Tim Eichenberg will be a huge difference. We have Democrats talking about joining with the Republicans in a coalition. And if we can take one more seat, that will make it impossible for that to happen. That's how close we are in the state Senate. And here he is. So,
All right.
so I'll let him say all the good things. our guy right now. He's our guy right